Ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I am your host, Sherard, live on location in Hollywood at WCOBM.TV on our very, very special segment this afternoon entitled Never Selling Out. You heard my 5 points, and I appreciate all those who responded on Facebook with their suggestions and comments, as well as I'm looking forward to hearing more stories about how you overcame and how you did not sell out to be able to get to where you go. You made it in your career. And on today's show, we have a very special guest panel here. First of all, to my left is a returning guest. He's one of my really good friends. He is a financial consultant, and he stopped by the Sherard Show to kind of revisit the topic that we were speaking about in terms of money. This man is all about money and all about helping you to make money in the entertainment industry, as well as whatever industry you're in. So welcome back to the Sherard Show, Adam. How are you?
Great, Sherard. Thank you so much for having me back.
Good to see you, buddy. You're looking fit as a fiddle.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then to my far right, we have a gentleman here I had the privilege to meet, and he's not only a singer, but he's also an actor. He's been in Hollywood for many years, and I know he has many stories to share today on the Sherard Show. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, to Mr. Larry Colvin. Welcome to the Sherard Show, sir. How are you?
Fine. Thank you for having me on the show. It's an honor.
Good, and I love the tie you're wearing. This man is cleaner than a Board of Health. And then we have this beautiful young lady. Now,
Yes.
you probably recognize her from
Yes.
many movies.
Yes.
She's been around for many years. She started acting when she was 3, ladies and gentlemen, and now she's only 39 years old, and she stopped by the Sherard Show today. The beautiful and lovely Mrs. Mara New. Welcome to the Sherard Show. You okay?
Thank you so much. I'm dreaming to be 3 again.
So I appreciate you all stopping by. So we're going to start off with you, Larry, first and foremost. Now, you're an actor and you're a singer, correct?
Yes.
Now, how long have you been in Hollywood?
About 40 years.
40 years. So you've seen a lot in the industry. Now, let's take it to your story first. Now, where did you start off at?
In Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York. Now, did you start off in plays? Did you start off in movies? What did you start off?
Started as a prize fighter.
You were boxing. So when you were boxing, what led you or started you to get the acting bug to say, I'm going to give up the gloves and start acting?
I happened to see a movie called The Joker's Wild starring Frank Sinatra, and I was impressed to be like him. And I've been accomplished in that for many, many years.
And so your career, you said it spanned 40 years, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how were you able to stick with what you do without having to sell out?
But I have confidence in myself. When you have confidence in yourself, you can move walls. But when you don't have confidence in yourself, how can other people have confidence in you?
Now, you must have been watching my 5 points, as I was saying. If you don't have self-respect, how expect anybody to say? You was watching, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's the way I've lived, and I've met many movie stars. I worked for the Southern California Motion Pictures for 31 years as vice president and entertainment director, and everyone came through the door with stars. And she was one of them that received an award from me from the motion picture.
Wow. And what award was that?
There was a superstar award she received from the motion picture industry.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So now, and we'll talk to you, get it more from you in 1 second, but I'm going to actually just throw this question to you.
ahead.
What is one of the most proudest things you've done since you've been in the industry?
Met my wife,
In
Marcia Colvin.
Really?
Yes.
And what year was that?
That was in 1967.
Out here?
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. That's going to lead to another subject in a moment. You doing okay over there, Adam?
Doing great.
Good. We're gonna get him in 1 minute because he can go. He can go. that engine is revving up.
Oh, yeah.
So now, Mara, again, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, we're proud to have you on the show. Now, you've seen a lot in the industry as well. How many years? Tell everybody in the audience how many years you've been in the industry.
On and off, probably 30.
30 years. So you left it for a few years?
I left it for a few years to be married with a great husband, and then I went into a different direction, and then I picked it up again because it's always been the love of my life.
That's awesome. Now, when you were in the industry, I know you know a lot of young ladies, young men who probably sold themselves out for the buck. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how being in the industry for 30 plus years, were you able to keep your integrity and not sell out?
The most important thing is to be true to yourself and the support of your husband, and also the love and helping others.
That's some awesome stuff. I hope you all are taking notes.
And she does.
I hope you all are definitely taking notes. These people are saying some very heartfelt things. Usually you hear about get the money, later for anybody else. But these people are saying if you believe in yourself and if you stay true to yourself, this is some awesome stuff. Now, I'm going to kick it over to Mr. Adam Levine for one quick moment. Now, Adam, you're not necessarily an actor in the industry per se.
Not in this industry.
Exactly, but you help people who are in the industry to keep from selling themselves out to being broke. Is that right?
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I mean, it's right in line with what you're saying, Sherard. Yeah, easy come, easy go. You know, I've seen people go for the quick paycheck, and it's gone just as fast as it comes in. But if you stay true to yourself and your bank account, you know, it lasts a lot longer. You can make, you know, things happen. You've got money sitting around. You're not stressing out. Because I notice when you have a shortage of funds, you're typically going to take the first thing that comes along just because it's a quick paycheck.
Ooh, that's a valid point. That's a very valid point.
However, with, you know, good, solid financial planning and spending time and making sure that the pocketbook is right, you're able to focus on who you are and what's true to your beliefs, and that way you get to follow your integrity and not just chasing the dollar.
So let's say if it's a model, for example, who got their first magazine spread, and it was, you know, with GQ magazine, and they just raked in $25,000, and they're only 22 years old, and they sit in front of you and say, "I need you to make this money work for me." What would you do?
Well, we're going to make it last. You know, there is that temptation to take that big lump sum of money and go to Vegas or Hawaii and, you know, enjoy it. But at the same time, you know, there needs to be some good, wise planning to figure out expenses, long-term commitments, and make sure that that money's sticking around so that, you know, like I'm saying, you're not out there just on the hunt trying to find the next best thing. You're out there with knowing that you're financially secure so you can focus on what it is that you're really after, which is the bigger picture.
So sometimes you run into people, I suppose, who want to visit you once they spent all the money. Huh?
Yeah, right.
and what kind of advice would you have for them? Then?
Well, I still have some advice, and it's, well, let's talk before something else happens. And so at this point, you know, at that point, it's really looking a hard look at your liabilities, your expenses, and managing your money properly so we don't end up with this conversation again.
Wow, that's some very heartfelt advice, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to three captivating individuals about not selling yourself out, being able to keep your integrity in an industry that really it promotes you selling yourself out. You know, when I used to run a modeling agency in Chicago, oftentimes girls used to want gigs so bad that they used to say, okay, so what do I need to do to get this gig? You know, and you get that a lot in Hollywood. As a matter of fact, they have like the director's couch and things like that, I'm sure you've heard of, and people getting gigs because they did certain things. So if someone was to do that, or a young lady was to approach you with that mentality, Mara, what kind of advice would you give them?
The best advice I could give is don't do it. You know, you're more important to yourself. You have to be true to yourself, and otherwise you just go a total different direction, and it's not going to be for your heart and soul ever. I don't think it's going to come back and haunt you anyway.
Now, Larry, and you've been in the industry for many years now. When you started in Hollywood, for an African American man, male, for example, what was it like back 40 years ago?
Well, it was very easy for me because I had a chance to meet some of the old celebrities that took me underneath their wings and guided me along the way, and that's how I happened to be involved in the motion picture industry. I'm involved with the Artists for America. I'm involved with also Film Advisory Board on the Southern California Motion Pictures, and these old pros taught me how to do it.
That is
and
awesome.
I didn't have to sell in.
That is awesome. And when you you know, look back at it, how are you giving back to young actors or aspiring actors and singers such as myself?
I've had a television show for 31 years, and I will promote entertainers performing. And I have a couple of ones right now that's in Vegas. It started when he was only 12 years old. Frank Marino is a top star in Las Vegas, started working with me. And that's how I did it. With my wife and I, the first one started karaoke for the state of California with Tom Bradley. And right down the street across from the Chinese Man Theater, the first place karaoke was at. Was right there.
That is some awesome sauce. You know, I'm pretty impressed with the panel that I have this afternoon. And I want to hear the conversation from you all. Go to us, the Sherard Show at Facebook, facebooklive.com, or you can go to WCOBM.tv to be able to go and if you have any questions for Larry or Mara or Adam or even me, you can be able to ask your questions or your comments in regards to what this subject matter. This is a very serious subject matter, something I believe will be very beneficial for those who are inspiring to come out here to be a part of this industry. And when we come back, I got a question to throw at these three that I think is going to stomp them. We'll be right back right after this.